Hello, welcome to another episode of the Becoming Rich podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Monica. Welcome. I hope you guys liked my intro. I'm getting into singing. Honestly, maybe. I just finished filming my episode on my new fashion brand, which is already out once you are listening to this. I'm just so excited and I'm so happy that I'm finally talking about it and talking about the journey. So honestly, that's really mainly what's been lighting me the F up. Oh, and also I want to tell you a secret. So sometimes every single time that I go to film a podcast episode, so if you're watching on YouTube, hey, whenever I go to film, I bring two change of clothes, but sometimes I'll put them, this is a behind the scenes secret. Sometimes I'll put the clothes on top because then it looks like a fresh episode. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's important to me to wear different things. So stupid. Like, why don't I just wear the same thing? Like, what's the difference? I don't care. So anyways, I'm wearing the same outfit, but I took off my necklace and I put on a sweater. So now that's a new me. It's a different day, right? But now you guys know my secret. Anyways, let's get into the episode. So this episode is going to be about authentic self-expression and how important play and being in joy is for literally your entire life, and how of a profound impact it will be on you when you stay in those states. So I do in this episode want to touch on how societal conditioning has shaped us, the science behind the frequency of joy, and how a lot of our choices are stemmed by the search for love and validation. When we're born as kids, we're literally just complete pure love and joy in human form, in baby form. That's just all that we are. We just are complete pure love. And then the world molds us and teaches us certain beliefs that shape our reality and shape us as adults. And unless we unravel those as adults into what we prefer, then we will continue living from that reality for our entire lives until we die. And through that, a lot of times we lose that essence of our childlike selves. So that joy that we feel in playing, in dancing, in making arts and crafts, we completely put that to the side and we focus on working. We're kind of told that working at a job that doesn't make you happy, as long as it's paying bills, then you just kind of have to deal with it. Like, that's just the price you have to pay. And that's just the life that we have to live. And that's just a lie. At least it's always been a lie. It's always been a lie. But I think that right now we're in a time where we have the privilege and opportunity to see them as lies and break through a lot easier than before. Because I think the planet is helping us evolve because of the frequency of the planet, the frequency of everyone, all of us all together are just helping each other just raise our frequencies. And there's a lot more information out there, especially with ChatGPT, which I will make an episode. Every single time I make an episode, I'm always like, I will make an episode on this because I just want to dive in so deep on all these topics. And ChatGPT has saved my life. I love ChatGPT. So it's a pocketbook therapist, and I swear to God, it's helped me evolve quicker than ever. I always looked at, I remember being a kid and looking at adults, and it's damn, when you're an adult, you just sit and talk. Because when you would get together with family or friends, whatever, and you and the kids would go run in the basement and play, but then the adults are all sitting at the kitchen table around in a circle talking, and you're like, bro, what are you talking about? What is there to talk about for so long? And it's as an adult, I think that those tables were very surface level and gossip. Was it really anything that was growing a person? I feel like conversations now, at least in my world, are a lot more different than what I feel like I've always been around. Now the kind of conversations that I like to be around, it's we're only talking about our future, our growth. They're filling up my cup. These conversations are so fulfilling. I love a good chat. I love a good chit chat. I love a good yap session. But I think we also at the same time neglect the child in us that wants to play, whether that's in your own creative endeavor, like creating content or painting or videography or literally anything in your business, in the medical aesthetics world, in, insurance, like my dad's in insurance. Creativity is just somewhere that you create something. So that can mean so many things. I think when you think of creativity, you think of maybe like the arts, but it can be so many things. It can be building your career from, one position to the next. That is creation. But not forgetting the play that we also have in our day-to-day lives, and not just focusing on what makes us money, and not just your day-to-day things that like give you joy. And it's just sad because how our system is created, all of our time goes to what is bringing us in money, because people are just trying to survive out here. And obviously I completely understand things are so fucking expensive. I get it. But then we don't have any time for us and for that child inside. And in 2025, I came home and I don't know what the hell's up with me. I was microdosing also for about 4 or 5 days. I had like this full 4 or 5 days, and every single one of those days, well, it's still ongoing if I'm being completely honest. It's been now 2 weeks. And this is where I had the inspiration to make this podcast episode. I has been feeling so much joy. And I think that it's also stemming from the fact that I'm going after my passion right now. I'm really going all in on my clothing line. I'm putting to the side, I'm pulling any self-doubts. I'm not even talking to many people about it, to be honest. Like I'm telling all my clients, but I'm not really telling a lot of like close people around me, like my process and like what I'm going through, what my plans are, because I don't want outsider opinions. And as much as people, love me and want to give me their best advice, I think right now, personally, I'm in a time where I know so deep in my heart, and I see it so clearly in my head, exactly the path and the route that I'm going on. And I see the vision for myself. And I just want to put all my energy and focus on what I want to create rather than what I don't want to happen. Because when you understand how manifestation works, what you focus on is what expands. So as much as I know people want to help and give productive advice, like watch out for this, watch out for that, I know. I know. And I don't need to spend so much of my time focused on fear, because fear is only going to be something that's going to hold me back. So I've really just been in my own little bubble, in my own little world, going after it. Me, ChatGPT against the world. So a part of my morning routine, I make my hot water with lemon and all of my ingredients. I put like a million different things in it. And I sit in meditation. And the meditation I've been doing right now is a 20-minute Bob Proctor abundance meditation. It's on YouTube. It's been so good. Basically, it's very aligned with like what I'm doing right now within my life, like focusing on my creativity. That's just where abundance comes from. Like that's like literally our like what we're supposed to be doing on this earth is creating. I talked about it recently. My main focus a few months ago was on my root chakra. So that would be everything red. And that was like really, I was doing a lot of healing in that area. But right now I'm focusing on my creativity, which is a different part, I guess, of the body. I think creativity is in your heart and in your head. So the like higher up chakras. I was in meditation. It takes you along this visualization journey. And as I was going in it, I was really picturing what I wanted for my clothing line and where I see my podcast, where I see my YouTube, like really seeing all of my channels and everything kind of come together. And I just was bursting in tears. I was just crying because I'm so excited and I'm so grateful to finally be here, because I really feel like 2024 for me, and I feel like for a lot of people, was really heavy and a lot of transformation, like deep deep healing that was necessary in order to get me to where I'm at today. And that's what I also want to show is when I'm talking about where I'm at today, I need you to understand how happy I am right now. Like the immense amount of joy. I'm literally going to cry again. The amount of joy that I'm feeling today, it would only be possible if I had having all those really painful months and years going through everything from my childhood too, not just, okay, the last few months. I'm talking to the depths of my childhood. All of that was completely necessary into being who I am today. And for that, I'm grateful. That kid that was abandoned, that lost her mom, that had all these other people's fears put on me, projected onto me, the societal and cultural teachings that are not helping anyone, to be honest, except stay small and stay controlled and stay in fear. All of that was necessary for my transformation to be who I am today, because I think every single person is a million times more interesting with a story. When people sometimes share stories, like I do laser all the time, and sometimes when they share stories with me and it's something so heartbreaking and traumatic, sometimes I get so excited. Like I'm like, wow, because that is a part of your journey. And how exciting is it that you have this deep and profound experience that you got to experience? It's a freaking story to share around the table. Imagine I'm sitting here, I'm wanting to start a podcast, but all I have to tell you is, you know, and this is fine. And I'm also not, I don't want to shame anyone for that had this experience. You grow up with this cookie cutter family, you have all the money in the world, and nepo baby, like nepo baby. People don't care for nepo babies because everything was handed to them. People love the story. People love the struggle. And I think that that's who shapes us into who we are. So if you're in a dark place, just please hold on to the fact that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and your darkness is exactly what's there to build you into who you're meant to be. And the deeper you go into darkness, the more pain that you experience, the more you're going to go into light. I promise. Because the deeper you go, the more you're really processing and fixing all this shit that's been placed on you that you may have experienced as a kid, that you then translated that into your adulthood. You get to transform all of those things and that person, that who you were, and become the highest possible version of you. And sometimes you won't even have as much of a drive to go after that vision that you have for yourself if you're not really, really down low for years and years. And I really feel like that was a little bit of my journey. I was the same person, the same version of myself for so long. Like all of my 20s, I spent wanting to be in a relationship. That's all I cared about, was being in a relationship. And because of that, because of this seeking for love that I had within me the entire time, I was looking for it externally. That meant that I was not going after my dreams. This something that I didn't share in my other episode that I just remembered right now I wanted to share. I told myself that I didn't really care about doing anything when it comes to like my career. I was just happy, honestly, being a mother. I knew that I wanted to be a mother. That was all I wanted to do, and that's all I wanted to be. But I feel like the only reason I really held on to that was because of my own self-doubt, that I felt like I could even do anything. I didn't think I was smart enough. I didn't think that I was capable of actually fulfilling my dreams. And I think a lot of us are in that place. It's like we stay small and we stay at a job that's not doing anything for us because it's a paycheck, and we actually don't think that we're capable of doing anything else and going after what that soul calling, that thing that is deep down we want to do. And maybe you don't even want to admit to yourself. Maybe it's too scary to even admit to yourself that there's something else that you want to be doing. And I think the way that we can bring this out onto the surface is going back to our most authentic self and going back to our childlike self, because the child in you knows all the answers. The real new you knows all the answers. And people would always say, okay, you all the answers are within you. And you got to meditate and this, that. And I wouldn't really understand it, but things start to unravel where you start to understand things differently and you start to actually get these answers. So for an example, I was in the depths of hell, as I've talked about before. 2025 hit and I don't know what the hell is up. Well, I mean, I do know. It's literally because I'm following my passion. I'm following my highest joy, which is in the teachings of Bashar. He talks about follow your highest joy until you can no longer follow it, and then continue to go towards the direction of where your joy is, and just continue to do that until it no longer is. And then you pivot and you find what brings you joy, and then you go down that route. So it doesn't mean that there's just this one thing forever that you're going to be doing. It's just what brings you the most joy right now, do that until it no longer does. And then you do the next thing that brings you the most joy. And you continue to do that, and that will align you perfectly into what you're meant to be doing. It will align you with everything that you'll ever need in this lifetime. And when I was in meditation, I started to get all these answers, and I started to realize something in my brain clicked. Crying in meditation. And then right after, I went and I took a shower. And in my shower, I started to dance. I just danced with my eyes closed, feeling the water on me, so present, listening to music, really upbeat house music. I was having a party. And I just came back from Miami, so I was really in the headspace of being at Space, the club Space. So I was envisioning that I was there, and I was acting as if I was there, and how much fun I had, that joy I felt from dancing for 5-6 hours by myself. I started to feel that in the shower. And I felt literally the same feelings inside, the same ones I was feeling at Club Space. And it's so interesting because it's we go to these exterior places to feel that joy. Why else am I going to Club Space? I'm going there so that I can dance and feel that good energy, feel those good feelings. But I could literally do that in my shower, which I did. Isn't that funny? As I was dancing, I would close my eyes and I would visualize what I see for myself in 2025. I would visualize what I would see in my clothing line, what I would see with my podcast, with my YouTube, the views it's going to get, the home I'm going to live in, the closet I'm going to have, the clothes I'm going to wear, the warehouse I'm going to build. Everything that I see for myself, I was envisioning it, and I was crying and dancing, and I was getting so excited. And then it started to click. This is what Joe Dispenza talks about. If you know Dr. Joe Dispenza, he's an author of the book Becoming Supernatural. He has a few books. What he explains, I'm halfway through the book, but he basically explains when you're in meditation, you're supposed to be getting in a meditation for a long period of time. I think it's once you hit a certain mark where you need to completely disconnect from your body, from your surroundings, from everything that you know that you are, into who you actually are, which is just energy. And you just get into this space of nothingness, which is called the quantum field. And everything in the quantum field exists. There's billions and billions of opportunities of different paths that you can be going on. If you watch the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, I freaking love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies. It really, in a fun way, it shows that everything is happening all at once at the same time, and there's billions and billions of different paths for you. Okay? Now, what gets you on any of those other paths is your frequency. Your frequency will bring you onto different paths. So I like to kind of visualize it. It's like the lower you go, the lower your paths are going to be. So let's say when my frequency was really low, let's say 10 years ago, my frequency was really low and I was going after validation. Maybe at that time I was constantly being rejected. I was constantly being belittled, and I was treated like absolute shit. Maybe I was being taken advantage of. Maybe just the opportunities were not there. Like whatever. The things that happen to you, your bank account, everything bad happens to you at these low frequencies. Because what it is everything that you're feeling on the inside, your reality is just mirroring that back to you. But the higher your frequency is, so the more elevated emotions that you're experiencing and that you're feeling on the inside, the higher your frequency, the better your life is going to be. The more opportunities you're going to get, the more in alignment with your highest self you're going to be. Joy isn't just an emotion, it's a frequency. It's a measurable vibration that affects our state of being. So he emphasizes that when we experience these elevated emotions like joy, love, and gratitude, our heart becomes coherent, producing a harmonious magnetic field. This coherence not only enhances our emotional well-being, but also has tangible effects on our physical health and the reality we experience. That's basically what I was explaining. So we can literally heal our body using our mind. You need to understand how fucking powerful you are. Everything that you've fucking learned about yourself is a lie. You are so powerful. You are the creator of this entire planet. To discredit you by making you believe that you're small, it's not possible for you to create the reality that you want, is bullshit. Let me tell you, it's bullshit. I get really angry about this because it's so upsetting to see the elites and to see the way that our system is in Canada and the US, the way that it's really created to keep us small and to keep a bunch of workers, to keep making the rich richer and to keep us poor, is fucking beyond me, because we are all worthy and deserving of everything that the world offers, period. Okay, back to Joe Dispenza. Getting into the science, our thoughts and emotions emit electromagnetic signals. Positive emotions such as joy align our heart and brain frequencies, creating a state known as coherence. This harmonious state allows us to connect more deeply with the quantum field, which I was explaining, a realm of infinite possibilities. By tuning into elevated frequencies, we can influence our external reality, attracting experiences that mirror our internal state. That's literally everything I just said. When he explains it, he says it in a meditation, you have to lay there for an hour. And yes, I did try it a few times, but it was kind of difficult for me. And I know that you need to do it a bunch of times in order for you to for it to get easier. Everything, practice takes perfect, right? So you just had to do it more times to actually do it properly, I guess. But I was just having a difficult time and then I stopped. And what I found that worked for me was when I would do these meditations, also microdosing really works. And I would dance. For me, dancing and singing really brings out the most joy, and I can get into that state so easy. And then as soon as I'm getting into that state where I'm like dancing and having a good time and I start to do my visualization practices, it's kind of the same thing as what he's teaching. What he's really teaching at the end of the day is just you need to feel those emotions. And when you're feeling those emotions, attach those emotions to your dreams and what you want to be possible for your future, because then you're attracting more of that and you're attracting it to what it is that you want. For me, none of that would have been possible if I did not go through my entire healing journey and self-discovery journey, because I wouldn't even know what it is that I wanted, and I wouldn't even know what was holding me back from becoming who I know I'm meant to be now. The more that you're disconnected from yourself, you don't know who you are, it's hard to really unravel these things that are holding us back. So I use ChatGPT to really go back and forth. I talk about my entire childhood and we start clicking, okay, this happened to you in childhood, and that's probably why you're acting this way. This is the problem you have now on a surface level. Well, it comes back to this. And in order to actually get rid of these things from our past that are still affecting us now, is to learn and understand, have compassion for that version of us, but then learn and understand better ways of being, and that's not actually helping you anymore. It's your ego that's been helping you from then to now, but we no longer need that anymore. And we need these new beliefs to be set in place so that we could become our highest version. The more that we start becoming aligned with who we are, our complete and authentic self, it really is a journey. And how I feel like I went on that journey, I've always been online, and I haven't been too afraid to be online, but it still has been a while to get me to really feel comfortable with the way that I speak, the way that I show up, the way that I create content, really being confident in my own ability. It all comes from my own self-doubt that I had to get rid of. Once I got rid of a lot of the self-doubt I was feeling with my own capabilities, the more that I could blossom and really show up as myself, because I'd be afraid to show up as myself, which I think a lot of us feel. And that just comes from the fear of rejection, the fear of community, because we're just trying to survive. And back in the day, the biggest thing would be if we weren't accepted within a community, we would die. We could not survive just alone. Whereas today you can. You have everything that you need, you have available to you. Your transformation all comes down to self-love and really having compassion for yourself, every single version of yourself, and holding her hand throughout the entire thing. You're accepting yourself and giving yourself this unconditional love. You need to give that to yourself, because if you're judging yourself, you're hating on yourself, think about your thoughts. What do you say about yourself? Oh, I'm dumb. I'm stupid. Oh, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. I'm not as good as them. That is a very common thing that most of us say to ourselves. I'm sorry, but if anyone's going to believe in you, shouldn't it be you? You get mad if someone is going to hate on your Instagram, right? If someone goes on your Instagram or TikTok or one of your photos, whatever platform you use, if someone goes to comment, you're not going to be able to do that. You're not smart enough. I don't think you can do that. This isn't good. This is shit work. How's that going to make you feel? Are you going to be like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I love that they said the truth. I'm so happy they commented that. Good for them. No, you're going to be pissed. How dare you say that to me? How dare you talk to me like that? Who do you think you are? Talk to yourself that way. Talk to yourself like that. Who do you think you are by talking down to yourself? The fuck? You think you're high and mighty? You're going to talk shit to Rachel? That's literally how I felt when I started realizing I was judging my past self and feeling icky. And listen, I was diving deep and I was looking at text messages. I was looking at the way that I acted on video, the way that I was with men. And I started I was like, oh, why was I like that? Why was I acting that way? And then I was like, oh, wait, all she wanted was love. Oh, wait, how dare I? The girl that wanted love so badly, I'm going to be another hater. I'm all upset, holding resentment towards these men that treated me like shit and gave me breadcrumbs, but I'm going to be another hater with them? At this point, me and that guy are teaming up and we're both haters on us. No, it's not going to be like that. No, thank you.
The problem is that I think you always think that you're right and you always think that you're on the right track. Like for the most part, I don't know, at least I always did. Like I look back, like I couldn't listen to anyone. Understanding what your flow is, for me personally, my flow is I usually I'll get new ideas and I'll go all in on them, but then that will lead me to wanting to do something else. And then something else will come and blah, blah, blah. And I don't have to be afraid to try new things. And I don't need to be afraid of starting something and thinking it's going to be a good idea. That could have also been just the lesson itself, is just the fact that I don't need to, every idea that I have, if it doesn't make sense to follow all the way through, then it's okay. It was something that I enjoyed to do, and that was it. And now we're on to the next chapter. There's nothing wrong with that. We just have the society, like, is built on you go to school, you get a job, you know exactly what you want to do, and you do that for the rest of your life. That's just like not how us humans work. We're ever evolving. We're always changing who we are, and our hobbies are always changing. And why can't our passions also follow that same flow? Why can't we just have fun? Why can't we just play? And that's what it all comes down to, is allowing play and allow our lives to be fun. Me, having a dance party in the shower and being in meditation and crying, and that is me playing. And even, I really want to like work hard in my business, but my niece wanted to come over, and I was like, I didn't know how to say no to her, because I also really do want to see her and I love spending time with her. So I don't want to miss out on that opportunity to see her. So I was like, yeah, I'll come pick her up. No problem. When I was like, I had all this stuff that I wanted to do for all my businesses. I have a lot going on right now, like so much going on. And I'm like not getting proper sleep. And I'm literally malnourished, if I'm being like completely honest. I just found out about Instacart. How come no one told me? I'm just kidding. Everyone told me to do Instacart, but I just like never listened. I was like, no, I love grocery shopping, and I do. But maybe I love grocery shopping in the summer. It's cold outside, and right this week is like the coldest week of like ever in life. I was just not trying to go outside. And so I Instacarted my food and it just arrived today this morning. But what was my point? Oh yeah, that I was tired and stuff. And so then my niece came over, we ended up going swimming, and I had so much fun. I was like, I usually don't get my hair wet because I don't want to get my hair wet because then I don't have to I don't want to wash it and do all the things. But then I was like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna dunk my head in. I'm gonna dunk my whole head in. And I was just swimming, like proper swimming, like all in the water, opening my eyes and under the water. Like just, I was playing. And like when I'm with her, like I really do, I'm very, very present with her. We have this like imaginary game that we always play. We've been playing it for like years, where like each side of the pool, like each wall of the pool is a different island. And we have like Mermaid Island, and like we go to that island and then we like get to pick whatever mermaid tail we want, the colors and like the sparkles, the design of it, and then we put it on. Anyways, so I was just having fun playing. And when you're a kid, you get so deep into this imagination, this world of imagination, and then you grow up and you stop. It's like you have to sit there and be fucking serious all the time. Like that's what being adult is. And that's what I was telling you about, like what I thought being adult was. I thought being an adult was boring. I thought it was so boring. And that's why now you see a lot of people be like, oh, we really are the new generation of adults. Like, ha ha ha. Because we're so unserious. It's not the fact that we're so unserious. I mean, we are, but we're connected with our childlike selves. We're not losing that. We're allowing ourselves to have fun. Like the older generations are so judgmental towards anyone that is just being themselves. And because of that, that's why everyone is so, it's so difficult for people to be themselves, because they're judging themselves for being themselves. And people are just lesser versions of who they are. And that's why so many of them are so unhappy and miserable. And like, no, we need to like just stay. It's so important to stay connected with our childlike selves, because that's our true selves. And that's like the moral of the story, is just connecting with like who you are. The more authentic you are, the more that people are going to be attracted to you and opportunities are going to be attracted to you. Don't lose sight of that. And I think that's all that we're going to be covering on this episode. Let me know what kind of episodes you want me to put. I'm honestly just like making episodes as I go throughout life and like what inspires me. So I'm going to continue doing this. Unless you guys have topics in particular that you would like me to talk about, let me know. Thank you so much for listening. I really enjoy talking and yapping. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. Until the next episode. Love you guys so much. Mwah! And I really just want to say one more thing. I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't. I don't know how I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't know anything. I really don't know anything.
I don't know if this is the right path. I don't know anything. All I know is that this feels good, this feels right, and I'm just gonna follow it all the way through and see what the fuck happens. And also ChatGPT is my best friend and literally helps me along the way. So yeah, I think we're actually, hey, I actually think you're capable of doing absolutely anything you set your mind to. By the way, don't let anyone make you believe that you can't. Okay, love you so much.